tried to silence me. They tried to intimidate and extort me. But what they didn't realize is I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm gonna talk about everything that they don't want me to talk about. More raw, more attitude, more unsanctioned. New season of Pinfalls and Pixels coming soon. The Dark Era. They tried to silence me. They tried to intimidate and extort me. But what they didn't realize is I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm gonna talk about everything that they don't want me to talk about. More raw, more attitude, more unsanctioned. New season of Pinfalls and Pixels coming soon. The Dark Era.
You didn't
You think
move.
you're actually going to catch me, did you? Do I look like I'm in the dancing mood to you?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know if this one was going to possibly get in your bones and distract you. I didn't know.
No.
Okay.
The answer is no, emphatically no.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ringside Rivalry Presents Slam Stories. We are Veronica.
And Tori Sloan.
And we are here with a face that you should all know because you should be watching our streams. And we have had the pleasure of having him on several of our paneled shows, such as pre-show previews. I think he may have even been on a post-match parlor. I don't know. But he's been here. He's been fantastic and fabulous. And he is here to do it once again. It is Mr. Joey O'Reilly. Are you excited? I'm excited. This is a very fine gentleman. We love getting to speak to him when we're at events. We love watching him in the ring. I think tonight's going to be good.
I think it's going to be a good one. It definitely is a good gentleman that we're going to have on. I'm excited to hear some more of these stories as into what's happening. Chat is also saying it's going to be very interesting, getting excited for it. They all sound that they're hyped to hear more about Joey. I see a whole bunch of mixtures between Eric is in here saying, hey, ladies. Samantha's in here dropping the hot hellos. Everyone's in here.
Maria, you know my old ass can't see. What the hell are they saying?
All right, hold on. I'm letting them all pop in because right as they all came flooding through, we got Anthony in here saying, hey, you gorgeous ladies. How I have missed you all.
We have missed you too, boo. I know you've been very busy with that precious angel of yours. I hope she's selling this is PG, isn't it?
Easy.
See, you do this to me on purpose. A boatload of Girl Scout cookies.
Good job. Look at you. Check you out. Budslingers in here. Hey, ladies. Desiree. Hey, mom and sis.
Hello, lovely.
I know you know who that is. We got Suma in our chat saying, hey, dropping in.
Oh, I do know who that is. Do you know who that? I mean, have you seen him? I can't stop looking.
I do know who it is. Eric said, I can't wait for Joey. Aline Chris Young is in here. Hello, all. Everyone is getting ready. Samantha saying, bleh, Joey sprayed water on my face yesterday. He sucks right now for that.
Oh, he did? Well, I almost said it again.
Yeah.
Well, golly day.
Exactly. Golly day is the correct way to answer. Anthony said, we have sold 1,000 cookies.
No, she hasn't. Has she really?
That is incredible. Look, yeah, 1,000 cookies.
Whoa.
I love it. I love it.
That is phenomenal. You make sure you give that beautiful little girl lots of love. That is absolutely amazing news.
I love it. Desiree is in here. I miss y'all.
We miss you too, baby girl.
And Superfly, Johnny Lee is in the chat, dropping the hashtag 4Horse 4Life We Ride.
There's that stud. That's it. I was gonna play off that whole ride thing. Okay. Behave. I know.
Even Samantha knows
you do this to me.
Mama is struggling so much. LOL. Poor mama. See, even Samantha sees the pain that I put you in with the PG rating.
Thank you, baby girl. I'm telling you, she sets me up. She knows that the leash that she has, it's retractable. So sometimes I get away from her. But no, she slaps us with a PG rating and I have to behave, which makes my life an absolute full of misery. It makes my life full of misery.
I love seeing
Jackson's here too.
Yeah, Jackson's here.
Come on.
Okay, well, here we go. Now that one, I gave you a little leniency because tomorrow I gave you the MA rating.
You did.
I did.
That's right. You hear that, Jackson? You and I get an MA rating.
Yeah. I was aware. I already knew. We're just going to let that be there. Jimmy Harris Sr. is in our chat saying evening.
Hello there, sir. Always good to see you.
Absolutely. Anthony saying, yeah, she hit her goal again and should be a top seller again for the 6th year in a row. Ooh.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love it.
All right. I love it. Superfly Johnny Lee. Always great to see you two beautiful ladies. Hashtag 4Horse 4Life.
That's right. You got that right. You cannot find two ladies anywhere else who would be as proud as we are to be horsemen. Isn't that right, Tori?
Oh, most definitely. Jackson writes in, I get to make it harder. Yeah,
Oh,
I feel like
it's usually my job. Okay, sorry. Mm,
I feel like
I'll
he
stop.
knows that he is fueling you. He's like, watch this. He's aware. He's aware. Samantha's saying, but before I went to ref yesterday, Joey goes, hey, Sam, and sprays me with water with a damn spray bottle. Easy with your language in here. You have to be careful too, Samantha. It's you with the PG rating.
So you're okay.
Yeah.
You're censoring chat. Oh, hold on. I got a message here. Who's this from? Okay, sorry.
You're fine, Eric saying, I love the MA rating, but we'll keep it PG.
Because Eric is a good son to his mama, and he knows that if mama has to behave, then he's going to try his best too. So there you go.
He knows, he's aware. I feel like we're going to take a break from chat. We're going to spin back this direction. Veronica, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm here. Another fantastic wrestling podcast.
Who punched your titty?
Oh, you like that? Yes, it's a bruise. He's a biter, and I kind of like it. It's not from when you grabbed it the other day.
Hey, no, stop. I apologized 3 to 4 times already, okay? I panicked. That's all I can say is I panicked. And I apologized.
Well, it's good to know that even after all these years, you still find comfort there.
I panicked. Suma is in here saying a PG rating is amusing.
The PG rating is impossible, Suma. And when you come on, it's gonna be MA because there ain't I am not behaving. Have you seen that?
Okay, I guess maybe I can give you leniency for another episode. Okay. All right. And Jackson Pride, okay, before we spin it right back, like I said, Jackson Pride saying behaving is overrated.
Thank you.
Eric saying, yes, I am nice to my mama, which is Veronica. She knows it. She knows it. Samantha cleaned her case, so she didn't do anything. She was just standing there waiting. Joey just still went for it. All right, let's go back.
Impossible. I can't believe that. Joey seems like such a nice man. I mean, we're going to have to ask him about this. I'm sorry. I don't know who the hell keeps messaging me. Okay. But
she's going to lose it. She's going to lose it in like 2 seconds.
He just seems like such a nice man. I can't believe he would do that. So we're going to have to ask him about that because I want details. And I say we just get right to it. We've been making him wait backstage long enough. He was kind enough to be here and step away from that family of his. So let's get him on and let's start talking.
Let's do it. Why not?
There he is. Hello there, Mr. O'Reilly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm well. Tori?
I'm doing pretty good tonight.
Very good. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're a very busy man with everything that you've got going on, especially with your career, work, and family. So we do appreciate the time that you are setting aside to chat with us tonight.
Okay.
So let's get things started. I mean, like I've said several times, we've seen you on a few of our different shows. Normally, they're the ones where we have a panel of stars on here. So there's a lot of ruckus going on, a lot of yelling, a lot of trash talk, all the crap we love, which is why we stick around this industry. But what we want to know is more about you. So I'm just going to get right into it and let's just start talking. When did you get started in this industry?
Ooh, almost 18 years ago. 15 is when I started training. I didn't actually have my first match until I was around 16. And it was completely by accident, honestly. I didn't even want to be a wrestler. I had no intentions, no desire, no nothing. I mean, I watched it the same as everybody else. I was a fan of it, but I was also like a really small kid, so I had no interest in it. My sport was baseball. I actually was really good at baseball, and I was hoping to get a scholarship in high school for that. And then my senior year, I ended up hurting my shoulder. So that took me out for the season. So that ruined all hope of getting a scholarship to go play baseball in college. So during that depression era, I met up with a friend, and he was going to the local wrestling school, and he asked me to tag along. And like I said, I had no interest in it, and it took him a few times to get me going. Finally, I ended up going down to the local wrestling school, and I was watching them, do it. And they're like, "Oh, why don't you jump in? You look like you might be good at this." And I jumped in, and then like it was just like, I guess because of my athletic background, it became almost natural.
Okay.
So here I am, 18 years later, kept going on something I had no intentions on doing. And now I have a wrestling school. Now I teach a school, so it's kind of poetic that I do it.
That is interesting. And that's actually a way that I was going to swing with that. We'll get into that here in a second, because yeah, for somebody that set foot on this journey that had no interest in being a wrestler, I do find it quite curious on how you decided that not only now were you going to be involved in the industry as talent, but you were going to bring up new talent. So we're definitely going to touch base on that. But what I want to know, transitioning, I mean, obviously you were already talking about with your athletic background, how that probably made the transition a little bit easier. What was the hardest part of that in trying to condition your mindset and your body to going, because let's face it, I mean, baseball is a sport, but it is nowhere near physical as what you guys do out there now. So what was the hardest part of that transition?
Learning how to train your body, because this is a different type of sport. I've seen football players come through here, wrestlers come through here, baseball players come through here, and it's a different type of training. It's a different type of mindset. If you are not 100% in to doing this, then you're not going to be able to do it. So training your body and just training your mind into everything that you got to do, it was a little bit easier than me for most, because I also have a 10-year extensive martial art background on top of baseball. So footwork came natural to me, and discipline came natural to me. It was just actually really hard to train my mind and to get my mind to wrap around, okay, now you're going to have to train more than, there's no off season with wrestling. There's an off season with baseball. There's an off season with karate tournaments. Like, there is no off season. So this is a year-round sport. You're constantly doing this. You're constantly putting your body through the pain, and you really have to train your mind and your body to just, hey, you've been beat up. Let's get up. Let's keep going again. So I think for me, that was the hardest part.
And being that that's something that you have conquered within yourself, how do you put that into play with those that you are training today that might find the same difficulty? How do you guide those to do the same thing that you've done? Because let's face it, sometimes saying it, is a lot easier than doing it.
When these kids, or not just kids, when these people come to my school, it is this one of the first things I tell them. I'm like, listen, this is a all-in type of thing. I was like, you're going to come here, you're going to give me 100% of your time for the 3 to 4 hours that we're here. You're going to be at all these shows. I for the most part, most of them travel with me. So they learn, the long nights, the early mornings, the late nights, the early mornings, the trainings, the extensive, combat that you're putting yourselves through. And I always tell these people who come from different backgrounds, and I'm like, there is no off season. This is no off season. Like, the only off season you get here is if you get hurt. But then if you get hurt, that's a setback. That's not really an off season. So it's like, they understand, but I think they have to go through it to fully understand what it takes.
Fair enough. I'm going to take just a quick break. I see a lot of love, a lot of comments popping up in chat. So Tori, to let us know what's going on there, please.
Absolutely. So we had Suma coming in here. I mean, I think that's most of us, all by accident, referring to how you stumbled into wrestling all by accident. It wasn't your initial go plan right off the bat. Then as soon as he came onto the stage, bunch of love. Good to see you, Joey. Bunch of pays. Whole bunch of love for you. As soon as you stepped on the stage, stealing the fans, just like he does. See, Annette, Joey is awesome. True facts. Both Suma said that and Eric, referring to, again, these statements you're making because you're making clear points to them. Then we had Nick Depp joining us in chat, where he had said, Joey is an incredible person and wrestler. His grind is more than TV, guys. He's incredible and wrote a book too, available now.
That's true. And we are definitely touching base on that. We got a lot of exciting things going on, sir. So see, I told you, Tori, he's going to be a fantastic.
No, no,
The fortunate former SMPW heavyweight champion, who is still my champion, as well as so many others. He's never wrong. So there you go.
There it is. There it is. More love. Just, Joey is great. Samantha talking about how funny enough his trainer is the one training me now. Bunch of kudos. Annette, Joey is awesome. Again, so much love. Jackson probably was asking you, didn't you start with SLW?
No, actually, I did not start with SLW. I did not get with Dave until after 01 was formed. I don't think I ever wrestled for him when he was SLW.
Interesting.
There we go. There we go. And then Desiree just saying, Joey, we need violence, LOL. So we're caught up for a moment here. Oh, hold on. Never mind. Hold on. Nick Depp's back. Samantha's back. I'll spit it back to you in 1 second.
Go for it.
Samantha said, no, we need more violence, actually, LOL. They all know where to go for it. And then Nick Depp said, fuck Joey O'Reilly, though. I thought that was Joey Flicklinger, my buddy from Texas. So now that this is Joey O'Reilly, it's not the same. Nick Depp can't jive with it.
I get it. I see the resemblance. I understand where the confusion can be. No problem. No problem at all. But let's just spin off that, since we got a little bit of hate there thrown at Joey O'Reilly, and we're talking about violence in this. What is this that you're spraying people backstage? That seems so out of character. Please elaborate. What got up your? What can't even say? How many swear words do I get?
It's completely in character. I like to joke around as much as the next person. So I didn't wrestle yesterday at the show. I just did a press conference to promote the upcoming boxing match I have with Braden Fury. So all I was doing technically was just accompanying, my trainee Jeremy to the ring. Well, me and his son were playing around with a spray bottle backstage because he's a junior ref, and I had it on like the squirting part. So not only did I get Sam, I pretty well got everybody in the locker room. I've seen how many people I could squirt in the face with a water gun.
Oh, now see, that's the type of stuff I like to see backstage.
Well, see, they don't let me drink there, so I got to occupy my time somehow, some other way.
So we just got to start spraying people.
So there you go, folks. If you can't drink, just grab yourself a spray bottle and just go at it. Just go get it.
I think I got everybody but Jeremy.
That works. Now, see, and I'm going to take that opportunity right there. I love going back, the idea of you going backstage and just goofing around with everybody, because let's face it, independent wrestling is synonymous with drama, and you're going to go ahead and find it. And I'm sure you do. I know I've heard stories about people not wanting to fight at promotions because you were specifically there. I know for me, when people don't want to see my face, I love just being in their face a lot more. So how do you handle all that nonsense that takes place? And how do you teach your students to look past such things?
I don't handle it. If you don't like me, you don't like me. We don't have to speak. We don't have to make, we don't have to communicate. In the end, this is a job. This is a business. So no matter where you go for work, you're going to have coworkers that you don't like, or just you don't like you. For the most part, everybody is professional, minus a couple people, but those couple people who can't be professional from, the time we walk through the door to the time we leave are just, those are what we call toxic people. So I tend not to have them either in my life or around me in the locker room. I'll, find somebody else to go talk to. I don't need or deal with that kind of stuff. And I try to embrace that on my students too. I'm like, you're not going to make friends with everybody.
Right.
Because, you're associated with me, some people's going to hate you. Because you work for this company, some people's going to hate you. Because you may be coming out of, a training school better than some wrestlers, they're going to take offense to that and they're going to hate you. But I was like, you have to understand it's not your fault. It's their fault because they're insecure with themselves.
That's true. And I agree with that. And I don't think I could have put that into words any better than you did. And which I love the words you used, insecurities, because that's exactly the next question I have. Do you yourself have any insecurities still to this day, even though you've been in the ring for as long as you have? Is there still something that you battle with?
I do. Actually, I do not and I repeat this, I do not like taking my shirt off at all. I'm very insecure about myself. Always have been. So like when I go to a water park with my kids or something, my shirt's the last thing that comes off. I'm not one of those guys that just goes outside and mows shirtless. Like I feel like a douchebag. And I shouldn't feel that way because, you know, I'm in the gym every day and I work hard and I feel like I look good, but there are other times I'm just like, I'm not where I want to be physically. And I think that's just a battle within myself.
And I think that's a battle that everyone has. And I'm sure that there are many who are listening or who will be watching the replay listening can relate to you on that and can feel that. But I think the fact that you still get out there anyway and you try your best and look past it is incredible, because there's a lot of people that would actually pass up their dreams and opportunities for something like that, but you don't. And I think that alone is something that you most likely bring to those that you are training to show them that, look, we're human. We all have these things, but we can look past it and still do good for ourselves. Do you not agree, Tori?
Yeah, I agree 100%. It adds more respect onto his name that he goes on and moves past it, and then the fact that he's pushing on to the students, it just shows that this is someone you should be listening to because he's putting forth everything he says.
Absolutely. Well, I've got you talking and we've unzipped the lip. Let's get caught up in chat because there's still a lot going on and we fall behind so quickly.
Oh, yes. Well, let's see here. Really fast, we had another one of our horsemen join us in chat. Bradley is in here saying #4horse. Let's ring the damn bell.
Let's do it. One of the co-hosts of our Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc brother podcast. Love you all so much.
Was. Big love to them. Samantha's giving her side of the story, you know. Hey, Sam, I look towards him and I get a face full of water. I threatened to beat the F out of him before I went upstairs, though. To ref. See, she got to make sure it's out there. Her side. Everyone then started encouraging you to spray. Go ahead and spray, Fury. Or Desiree said, don't lay a hand on him. You had someone over here saying to get Jeremy. So it's a wide mix now that you have to apparently finish the quest of spraying the spray bottle, it seems. A few more in here. We got Suma, you know, referring to Joey and, you know, not listening to people who may hate you and not everyone's going to like you. Suma was just saying, stay professional. If not, we can shut the locker room doors.
Agreed.
Straight. A bunch of more people agreeing, loving what you're saying, agreeing for you all the way. Many people actually agreeing with you, you know, with the shirt. Jackson Pride was in here. Suma's dropping the gap. So you're reaching out to these people and you're connecting on a whole nother level just by everything that you're saying. And then last one, Samantha was up here saying Joey's a non-nonsense person. For as many times I've watched him or talked to him, he's pretty chill unless you piss him off just right.
Well, there you go. And I'm a true component of that. I will support that all the way. You do what you can until they push you too far, and then you do what you really can.
Well, there you go. Spin it before they try and come back up on it.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we've talked a little bit about where you've been and we've heard a couple of promotions drop. So let's look more into that. Where have you built this career at? Where are all the places they have seen you?
They've seen me at all the normal. I do stay at a lot of the same promotions that I work for just because I've created a bond with some of the promoters there and the owners. I've branched out a lot in my career. I've wrestled a lot of places. I've met a lot of people. Right now with, you know, my kids, I still have some young kids. With them being young, it's just easier for me to stay not local, but close. And it's just, like I will be going to Vegas for WrestleMania weekend, so I'll be wrestling in Vegas this week or this year. We're supposed to have I think I got a trip planned for Canada in May. So now we're starting to reach out into the world a little bit. But
yeah, sounds like it. Is there any place that you haven't been booked or isn't on your current itinerary that you would like to go to?
Yes, England. I want to wrestle in England. I've always wanted to go to England and Ireland, and I've wanted to visit Scotland. And they have a not as big wrestling culture down there, but they do have a wrestling culture down there. Most people would say the dream for wrestlers is to go to Japan. I'm all for going to Japan. I would wrestle in Japan in a heartbeat, but I've always been connected with like England, Great Britain, and all that. So I used to have a contact over there. I need to dig in to see if I still do, but this year would be the year that I would want to go, spend a week in England, see what I can learn out there in England, then spend a week in Ireland, see what I can learn from that culture in wrestling. I don't necessarily have to go to Japan because there's a lot of Japanese wrestlers that come through here. I've learned the culture from them here. I'm sure it's a different culture there. A lot of luchadors and Mexican wrestlers come through here all the time. So you learn the luchador culture just here, but like the cultures over there is, I hear, different. So that is one place I would like to go and learn culture there.
Very nice. That's interesting. That's one that I don't think we've heard yet. Because you're right. Normally, the first go-to would be down to Mexico, or they want to go to Japan and whatnot. So I think that's absolutely phenomenal for you to have a different outlook and a different path that you want to take. Because I think being able to even hit all those countries, I mean, not even really making any of them stand out, being able to hit all of those is great. Just like hitting as many promotions as you can, even here in the States, is great because the more, I've said it time and time again, the more individuals you cross paths with, I feel like the more opportunity you guys have to learn from each other. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. I do have more questions, but you are just one of those individuals that always keeps our chat popping. So Tori, what's going on?
Never fails, never fails. We put Joey on the screen and the chat, all of a sudden, it just, you lose them. You lose them very easily. Let's see. You had Suma getting curious, saying where in Canada. You've piqued curiosity out of another talent.
Ooh, I don't remember what they said. I think it was Winnipeg. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check my notes, but.
Awesome. And then Suma came in here doing yes in all caps, Tokyo Dome go. There's nothing like working over there. Trust me. So it sounds like a good idea here. Now Veronica, we've got Kyle Pels joining us. Dropping the whole My Girls. Look at him. He's in again. Oh,
hello there, Kyle. We love to see you back here.
It's always a good thing. Always so very good. Maxwell is joining us in chat, and hello, Tori and Veronica.
Hey, Max.
Everyone's piling in. And then Suma, really fast before he's been, said India is nice too.
Oh, that's one I haven't heard before.
Okay. I like hearing the different places, like you said with Joey's, and then now, Suma's in here saying India. I like hearing, not the same repetitive answers. I like it.
Reminds me of one of our past guests, Johan Nara, with him going to Peru, and I think last time he was on like Argentina. He's everywhere. I think that's absolutely great for you guys. Phenomenal. Again, because of my biggest pet peeve, I hate people that stand too still. It pisses me off. But speaking of standing still, you did go ahead and mention that you stay amongst a lot of promoters that you've grown close with. So that leaves me to ask, what is it about those promotions that have made you want to stay?
These promotions have allowed me to bring my students onto these shows a lot easier than me going somewhere that I've been once or twice, and it's really hard to say, hey, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, I'm coming down there to wrestle for you, but I'm like, hey, man, I got, this carload. Can you find some spots for these people? Like, no, that's not how it is. Like, so these promoters that I know, I'm just like, they're always like, hey, do you have any kids training? Do you have anybody, worth looking at? And I'm like, yes, I got a couple people and I'll bring them with me. And then once I get them started and they get close to their own. So I have a rule. I have tiers in wrestling. So it's kind of like martial arts and your colored belts. I have what's called colored shirts. I have I have a green shirt. That's your basic. I have your blue shirt. That's your introduction to wrestling. And then I have your, that's your intermediate wrestling. So you can wrestle as a red shirt, but I have to be present, or the owner of 01 has to be present on those shows. So that's why most of the time I stay around here for the most part, but then I do travel to other places. But I do try to get these guys out there as much as possible. I take them with me. I show them what to do, how to market yourself, how to get yourself on these shows, what to do, what not to do. So it's kind of like a whole big training thing. So once this flurry of trainees go away, before we get more, that's when I'll start branching out more, doing my own thing. And then once I get more, I'll come back and lead them through the same process. So making with these promoters, it's like they're always asking me, hey, do you have any extra, refs? Do you have any extra wrestlers? And it's like, yeah, I do. Because it's just, they enjoy me bringing talent with me.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that we also love to see. There's so many. One thing that we've noticed with visiting promotions, especially in Southern Illinois, is it's the same old roster, and that's fine. I understand that they have their staples, but there have been some places that just do not want to bring new faces in, and that baffles me on why you wouldn't want to do that. Not only for the talent that is currently working for you, but your audience. So the fact that stands out to you makes sense to me. Also, what I want to know is what makes you shy away from a promotion? What do you warn your students about to keep an eye out for it, and that maybe sets off a red flag that this is a place that I don't want to be?
A lot of times I will look at the flyer and see, who their top people are. And if it's someone that I find that is very disrespectful in the business, or only cares about themselves, or, amongst other things, I will shy away from that promotion in general. Because I always try to tell my people, I'm like, you want to be careful. I was like, this is wrestling, so you want to have fun, you want to meet people, absolutely, but you also want to watch out for who you associate yourself with, because who you associate yourself with is going to be a big deal breaker in wrestling. There are a lot of what you said about not, promotions not wanting new people to come in. Those are what you call people with cliques. They're set in their own ways. They have their own group of people, and it's it. They don't usually care for outsiders. I don't like judging a book by its cover, so I'll look at the flyer, see who's on the flyer. If it's nobody I know, then it's like, cool, I want to go to the show, meet all these people. And then it's usually there when I'm at the shows. Just, you can feel the vibe when you walk into a locker room. If you've done it long enough, you can feel what kind of environment you're going to be in. You can walk in a locker room and be like, oh, this is a great environment, I'm going to like it here. Or, oh, this is intense, I don't know how I feel about this. Because you get uncomfortable yourself. Because when you walk in, you're going to know if you're wanted, if you're not wanted, if they're just going to look at you like, oh, here comes this new kid here to take, everybody's spots. And it's like, that's not a feeling you want. I mean, I don't care either way. If I'm being brought into a show, I'm probably there to take someone's spot because they're not doing well. Or if I'm not there to take someone's spot, I'm going to do it anyway. But it's an awkward feeling for a new person to go in and be like, oh, I feel like everybody's watching me, because, well, they probably are.
Fair enough. Take a quick break. Again, chat is continuously popping. So, Tori, let's take a quick chat break.
Absolutely. As he continued on, he started chants in our chat of Jess Constant between anyone. Anyway, Joey is awesome. We had Eric chiming in on it. Everyone was, once again, as Joey continues to talk and we get that deeper dive into it, the fans are just falling more and more love, as well as newer faces that are just now seeing him for the first time are going for it. Now our Doug is joining us in chat, saying hello, my gorgeous ladies.
Hey, Doug. Wondering where you were at.
I know, it was running a little bit behind. Had me worried, Doug. Had me worried. So yeah, just a whole bunch of love, just shooting Joey's way.
So let's talk a little bit about this book. What's it about? What inspired you to write it? Does it have anything to do with wrestling? Is this a different part of Joey? Enlighten us.
It is not a wrestling book at all. It has nothing to do with wrestling. It has nothing to do with my persona, which my persona has a lot to do with me in real life. I do have a rodeo background, but it has nothing to do with any of this. This is a completely different side of me. I actually hated reading in school, and I think I hated it because I was forced to do it. I think if you're forced to do something too much, you hate it. It wasn't until I got out of high school and I started driving for a living that I really started picking up on audiobooks and I started listening to them. And I started to understand that, man, these people can really, like, they can create their own worlds. And then I just became fascinated with the fact that people can write stuff and they can, suck you in. One guy who's really good at doing that is Stephen King. He is really good at creating his own worlds. I mean, he's created his own universe. So I'm still listening to Stephen King books now. So what prompted me to write it was I always did a lot of creative writing in school. Like they would, in English class, they'd have us, create, write, and I was always really good at it. Writing a book takes so much time and it takes so much effort, and it's so different than wrestling or anything you've done because you're not using your physicality, you're not using your athleticism. Now you're using your brain, and it's like, can you comprehend what you're writing? And funny story, I actually started writing it 2 years ago, and then I actually hit a roadblock. I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how to get there, and I actually quit. I put it down and I stopped writing, and I was like, I'm done. I got frustrated. I was over it. I was wrestling a lot more, and I was like, I was over it. Well, late last year, like right as summer was ending last year, I suffered a back injury, and that kind of like put a halt on everything. I ended up having to go through, I think, 3 months of lower back therapy, not knowing if I was going to have surgery or not. So at that point, I was just kind of sitting there thinking about, I was kind of freaking out, like, what am I going to do if I can't wrestle? Like, I've done this my whole life. What is it that I can do? And then Rain is the one who actually sat me down, and she's like, well, why don't you finish writing? She's like, just sit down, finish writing, read where you were, see where you can go. So that way it may be something you can do outside of here. So if it wasn't for her, I probably would have never picked it back up. So I picked it back up and I started writing again. And just as I got ready to finish this book, I actually got hurt again. This time I suffered a neck injury. So the last few times that you've seen me at Strictly, I've actually been wrestling hurt.
Really?
I took a shot in a chair, and I compressed my C5 and C6 together in my neck. So it's pinching a nerve in my shoulder, and it causes a lot of like numbness and tingling. So I've been going through physical therapy for that as well. It's better. Thank God, because if it wasn't, then I was going to have to do a neck fusion, and that's not something I wanted to do. So with those injuries piling up on me here in the last year, I've really thought about what I want to do outside of here. And I've always given people entertainment. I've always been there to entertain people. So it's like, if I can do it this way and not just physically all the time, then I'm golden. But the book is actually about 18th century vampires who were banished to another world. They were banished to a mirror world of our world. And then there's been a bloodline in this world, per se, almost like a half vampire. So he's been feeding that world souls. And once that world reaches 1,000 souls, the gate will open and the vampires can walk free amongst our world again.
Interesting. And where can they find this?
So you can find it on Amazon. There's a link in my bio on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. There's a link to the website. I have an author website that my good friend Dallas Preacher made me. Dallas Black. He's really good at that type of things, and he was a big inspiration on writing it too. I did a lot of research with him. So he made me an author website. So you can click on that, you can leave comments and stuff, and it will take you to the buying link. Most of the time people buy it on Amazon. It's just the easiest place to go to because everybody has an Amazon account. But it's available on Barnes and Noble, and there's a few other platforms that I've never heard of that it's available on. I would just have to get a list of that, or you can buy them from me. But I'm using wrestling platforms right now as book signings. So if you want a book signed, you have to come to me to get it. I will not autograph it and send it out to you. So instead of me paying for a place and doing a book signing, because I'm already getting paid to be at these places, you can come to me and buy one. So I'm trying to
Sounds like-
cross a little bit.
And I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about that whole crossing between the two here in just a second, but go ahead and get caught up in chat. But make sure that we have that information so that we can share it as well. We want to be able to help promote as many sales as we can and get that information out there, because I myself am a writer. I was first published when I was 14. So when I see individuals who contemplate such a thing, I mean, I'm still trying to instill it in my 4 children. Luckily, some of them are finally starting to listen. I think it is absolutely phenomenal that you have decided to just go for it and try, because you don't know unless you try. So huge kudos to you. Welcome to the world of authorhood. Definitely glad to have you here, and I can't wait to read it. I really can't. Tori.
Yeah, if this guy's been chat. Let's see, we had people going ahead and saying, Joey's a truly good wrestler, much love. Then they went ahead and they were asking questions about the book, but then you guys ended up tackling all of that, how long it taken to write the book. Desiree is asking, how much are your books, especially when at the shows? That you got inquiries now.
So you buy them from me with an autograph, you can buy them for $30. I will also, if you decide to buy a soft cover or hardcover online, that is perfectly fine too, and I will still autograph it. But you still have to come see me to do it. You have to come see me in person. You have to come see my face in person in order to get one.
There you go. Listen to the man, guys. You know what to do. Let's see here. Bradley said, driving home from work, ladies, just want to sit and listen for a little while I could.
Well, we definitely appreciate seeing you here and seeing that name in chat. You always make us smile. You know that.
Exactly. He knows. We had him on just last Friday. He knows where it's at. All right, go ahead and hit him with the next question. I want to hear more.
Well, so now that I have to know, I mean, now that you've gone in and you've started, writing, does that pique any interest at all to look at more of the creative side of wrestling and maybe get your hands into some storylines at these promotions that you work for?
So funny you ask. I'm actually so the Thursday night throwdowns that we run here in Edgewood, and we're getting ready to move to St. Elmo. I actually write most of the storylines for that promotion.
Okay.
When it was 2015, maybe 16. I hurt my shoulder and I was out for 6 months, 6 to 8 months. When I was out, then I really took the time. I didn't stay home. I actually went up there, and that was the time I learned I sat down and I learned all of the backstage stuff at that point in time. So I was hurt. I couldn't wrestle. So I wanted to learn how these stories come about, how you write wrestling stories, how you pick who you want to, invest in. I really learned how to do my promos at that point in time. They gave me a general manager's role. So I was more hands-on, and I was having to do more work and having to do more thinking. And then I ran lights, I ran sound, I did ring announcing, I did bell keeper. I did almost every job that you can possibly do. And at that point in time, that kind of gave me like an entire outlook of everything, and be like, oh, so there's a lot that goes into these shows. There's a lot people do behind the scenes. And that gave me a much more respect for everybody who does it. So now when I go to the show, I make sure I thank the timekeepers and the guys who do the music and the guys who run it. I make sure that I tell them, thank you. These shows wouldn't be possible without you. That's what I really learned how to do stories. So I have a committee, myself and Rob Leach, we run the Thursday nights. He'll pick some of the storylines. He'll run them by me, and I'll be like, no, here's what we're going to do. The same at the Big 01 shows. We have a 4-person committee. It's myself, David Cavazos, Rob Leach, and Rain Victoria. So we have once a month meetings, and then we go from there. So I actually do book for some of these shows I go to.
That's awesome. And I was hoping you were going to say that, because I figured that would be another great creative outlet that you could put into that. And I do apologize. Tori, I'm going to need you to take over. I have a call coming through that I have got to take. It is work. I am so sorry, but she's got this. Throw me backstage. I will be right back, you guys.
All right. So you obviously, let me go ahead and spin it. Everyone's just loving what you're saying in chat. I'm glad you guys ended up saying, just like Veronica said, that you went ahead and you took forth into doing the insiders, and it shows you the appreciation, because not many people show love to, the ring announcers, the sound people. And when we had referee John Legger on just last Thursday, I do believe, he went into that being a referee. He saw that and always put huge kudos to you guys wrestlers. But now, once again, you brought up your third injury. Now, it sounds like you faced a lot of injuries in your career. What are ways that you can come back mentally and physically and try to avoid them, or kind of compete against those mental faults?
So it's getting harder and harder, honestly. I'm not, so in most people's eyes, I'm not really that old. 35 is not old. 35 is in most people's prime, but people don't understand that I've been doing this for almost 20 years. So that's 20 years of beating myself up, and 20 years of traveling, and 20 years of, not getting the rest and recovery that you need. So it seems like every time I get one injury, I try to prevent myself from getting that injury again, and I end up hurting something else. So I've really kind of like redone the way I work things. I don't jump off the top rope anymore. I hardly ever jump to the outside anymore. It's just like I can do it, but I don't need to do it. I can teach these younger kids how to do it and let them do it for me. So it's true what they say. They say, once you suffer your first injury, it's all downhill from there. And it really is. It's like you're recovering after recovering after recovering. So that's why I took up writing. It was just something that if I had to walk away today, if I got hurt and the doctor's like, "Oh, you're done. You can't do this," would I be okay with that? And I think the answer is yes. Even if I didn't get to go out the way I wanted to, I think the answer would be yes, because to me, I've done enough.
Yeah.
So now it would be me giving back in a different way.
I like that mindset you had, because although you want to put your time out, at least if say it happens, you can step back with the knowledge, and you've learned the life lessons in which it takes, and you're obviously already doing now with you being a trainer. You're able to already pass it down to the younger generation and the people who are trying to come up and do what you just did. So I think that's incredible, and you couldn't have said it any better, because that was perfect. And then now with the writing, it's working out amazingly in your favor, and I love the way that you said that. Let me really fast spin to chat. Let's see. We had Bradley coming in here saying it takes an entire crew to make that show happen. The wrestlers aren't the most important people. They're just an intricate part. Shout out to the refs. Shout out to the ring announcers. Shout out to the entire crew. Exactly, Bradley. That's exactly kind of like what Joey was saying. You got to kind of show that said appreciation. Samantha saying, I've seen Joey jump off a balcony onto a group of people. You did what?
Yeah, I've jumped off a balcony a couple times. If we go to a new place and it can be jumped off of, I'm more than likely going to do it. Just so nobody else can do it first. So yes, I have jumped, and I've also surfed a man down a flight of steps. So that's happened too, twice.
Okay, now that's golden. Now that's something we gotta find the footage of, because I haven't seen that one before. I've seen people jump off balconies and things like that, but that right there, that's different.
Yeah, it was intense. It was scary, but surf's up, bro.
Oh, let me add Veronica back in here, but I love it. Surf's up, bro. That's it.
I'm so sorry. But see, I told you, isn't she phenomenal? She's got this. So I walked back in, hanging up from my client, listening to people surfing people downstairs. Did I hear this correctly?
I surfed two different people down a flight of stairs. It was surf's up.
All right. So now I need to know, what is the most dangerous thing that you think you've done in the ring?
Surf somebody down a flight of steps.
That was it? Okay.
That's it.
I was about to agree with you.
Well, because so jumping off a balcony is one thing. I know who I'm jumping onto or not jumping onto. I know what I'm doing there. But like when you're fighting someone and they're leaning and then you just jump on their chest and you both start sliding down they start sliding down the steps on their back and you're just kind of like you're literally surfing. That's probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
I could see that being absolutely true. Yes.
I love how
I did not mean to
quickly
interrupt you. It's just I thought that's what I heard walking
That's
back in this
exactly what
room.
I'm saying.
So, okay, sorry, Tori, continue.
Don't worry. Had that been me and it was reversed, I would have said the same thing. I'm like, he is doing what? When did he do this? Oh,
Yeah, that's a story most people probably don't know. I forget about it quite a bit until Samantha brings it up. And other people have brought it up to me too. They're like, hey, do you remember at that show when you surfed that guy down a flight of steps? And I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
he's like,
I
God.
absolutely hate that we missed this.
Yeah, I hate that I forget it. It's crazy.
He doesn't want to relive the fear factor of not knowing
Right?
what's going to happen if he's going down.
That's great.
Maybe Samantha just saying the footage of him jumping off a balcony is somewhere either on Facebook or YouTube. We'll have to check that, but I want to see the surfing. That's it.
Right.
That's very it. Okay. So Eric is saying Joey's a very good professional. Keep doing what you're doing. You are awesome. Much love. All right, I'm gonna give it back to you, Veronica. Let you do it.
All right, so that was the most dangerous thing. Now we got to get into the story part of Slam Stories. Tell me what is the most humorous thing that has ever happened to you or your opponent in the ring?
Oh my Lord. So wow, I forgot about this until now. I've actually, and this goes back to the self-conscious thing. I started wearing trunks just to get my vote of confidence up there. And if people don't know what trunks are, they're the underwear looking things with fancy glitter sparkles, whatever you want to wear. I actually had a pair on and they were my favorite pair and I didn't know they were ripping. The seam was busting out on the side. Someone grabbed me for they went to launch me, but when they did, instead of grabbing underneath my arm, they grabbed my waistband and they lifted me. And when they lifted me to throw me, the entire side of them ripped completely off.
Oh.
So that happened. So it was a quick hit, land. Oh shit! Almost everything is out. Slide out of the ring. I ended up going backstage, and I think real quickly I just threw on a pair of gym shorts. That was closest. I don't even know if they were my shorts, but I just threw on the closest thing I could find at that point in time, because it was a wardrobe malfunction for the ages.
That's epic. That's epic. But I feel like unless you have a story like that, have you really made it in the industry? Have you?
Probably not. If you've not had something stupid or, a wardrobe malfunction of some sort or some kind of thing that is embarrassing at that point in time, but you can look back on it now and be like, oh, that was kind of funny. That was hilarious. And people are still talking about it. No, you haven't.
I love it. Those are the best stories. Those are the ones that I have to ask. And so thank you so much for not letting us down, because you would be surprised on how many times I have posed that question to people who have come on this show. And Tori, they've had nothing for us. Nothing.
No, so I'm so glad Joey had something.
That's because they're not adventurous. You got to be adventurous.
It's true. You got to be adventurous and you've got to have heart. Let me tell you, sir, you've got it. You've got it. Oh, what's going on in chat, Tori?
Oh, let's see here. I love people are laughing at the fact that, for Samantha, for example, saying, I don't even know if they were my shorts. It's kind of scary.
I think in that moment, he did not give a shit whatsoever.
Nope.
He wasn't even thinking about who those were. It just, we need to be
I think they ended up being mine, honestly, but at that point in time, I didn't know.
I don't think he cared either way, honestly. He was just like, I need something. Samantha said they could have been Kyle shorts, LOL.
Well, Kyle wasn't around at that point in time, so they definitely weren't his shorts.
There you go. Safe from that.
Thank goodness.
He sounds like he just dodged a bullet with that one. That's the way he's sounding. Let's see here. Samantha saying, I don't remember him surfing someone down the stairs, but I definitely remember jumping off a balcony.
Yeah, that was long before Samantha decided to pop in.
There you go. There you
Well,
go.
good. See, we're not the only ones that missed it. Our baby girl missed it too.
Exactly. No, Eric saying Joey ain't stopping yet. He's still going, and we like it. He still got the fight in there. It is.
Well, and he seems to be that type of person, because even though he has shared with us the injuries that he has endured, the current injuries that he's battling, you still manage to get out there and claim those SNPW tag team championships with none other than Kyle Pfeiffer. So tell us a little bit about that and what's to lie ahead as champions. What do you see bringing to this roster now that you all are champions among it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, when I was younger, I was ecstatic to become a champion. Now that I'm older, I hate becoming a champion because the workload is a lot heavier. Because it's now you have them, now you have to keep them. So now you have to do different things to make sure that you keep them. And it's like, if you're just a wrestler, you can be like, oh, I'm wrestling this guy. But it's like, now it's like, okay, well, you battle a set of teams. And it's like, when you're done, another set of teams steps up. You battle, you're done. Another person steps up. It's like, I'm the Illinois state champion for MWC. And it's like, I'm a tag champion with Jeremy at IWAU. I'm a tag champion with Kyle at SNPW, and I'm an Illinois state champion right now. So it's like, I am battling constantly. But it's okay having being a tag champion, because I feel like with my experience now, being in the business forever, I can just say, oh, we're gonna beat Kyle up tonight, or we're gonna beat Jeremy up tonight, and I can share that workload a little bit more.
That's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold, and that has to be a proud moment.
I think as long as I've been wrestling for Strictly Insane, I think that's the first championship I've won there too.
Really? Okay.
Well, yes, because for the longest time, I was there whenever I was available, because I was busy a lot. And now that Sam's dates kind of lined up with me being open, so it just kind of fell into play that, Sam seen that, we were a tag team at other places, and it was just like, oh, well, these guys together with the group that they are, they can draw money. Who doesn't like to see, beer swigging rednecks go out there and fight everybody? Minus a couple people here and there like to see that. So
again, not wrong. He very rarely is. We know this. As I was going to say, all that gold has got to be a proud moment. Is this the proudest moment of your career? And if it's not, what is?
I think the proudest moment of my career was not winning a championship. Now don't get me wrong. When I won my first ever heavyweight championship at IWA Unlimited, I think I ended up being champion for 874 days. So it was quite a reign. I won heavyweight titles all over. I think my proudest moment was actually when I got to, no matter how short it was, wrestle on Monday Night Raw. That was probably my proudest moment.
We love hearing those stories. We absolutely do. We've had a few that have actually been able to go up to companies such as that. And I don't know if that was the goal for you once you decided that you were going to become a wrestler. In fact, I almost said that word. See? Forget it. Let's talk about it. When you did finally decide, okay, yes, this is it. I'm going to be a wrestler. Like you just shared with us that wasn't the main goal. Once you locked in, what goals did you set for yourself, and how quickly did you attain them, and have they changed thus far?
So they have changed over time. The ultimate goal, I think, with any wrestler is to make it to the big stage, wrestle for a living. And I think after a while when I started, that was like, okay, well, now that I'm here, maybe I can wrestle on TV. But when I started, little guys wasn't really a thing. It was still very much an old school. If you're not over 230 pounds, you don't get a lot of attention. There was no, and even on TVs back in the days when I started, there was not a lot of little guys. They didn't do a lot with little guys. I don't think promoters knew how to market little people. A lot of the places I went, I had to do something different. I had to showcase something that they hadn't seen yet or seen in that area. I had to be different. And I think that's where a lot of my success came from, was I was able to overcome a lot of those odds. So it was like, okay, now that wrestling's accepting smaller people, you know, because I'm not tall by any means. Now that they're accepting smaller people in wrestling, now maybe the goal is to get on 205 Live or get in the cruiserweight division. My goals have changed a lot. I, now that I look at everything from a market standpoint, from a money making standpoint, to me, getting signed to a 5-year deal, you know, for AEW or WWE or whatever, probably wouldn't be the smartest financial decision. Because when you break down what you would be getting, and then, you know, when you come to find out that, you know, you're in charge of your travel, your food, your lodging, your gym, everything else, you know, that stuff kind of adds up. So it's like, I think it would be easier right now. And I'm not saying if I got signed tomorrow, I wouldn't go. I'm just saying I would have to be smart about the financial decisions of it. But right now, you can make more money on the independent scene than you can being signed, unless you're a high up name, because you can market your own, you know, individual self on the indies. Like, I can write a book and then I can go market that book in wrestling. I can make my own merchandise. I can, you know, which I do make all my own merchandise. We make all of our stuff. We have Raving Designs over here. So we make all of our own stuff. And it's like, if you get signed, you have people making stuff for you. You don't have much of an input on what is being put out there for you. So to me, it's like a big marketing standpoint. If I've spent so much time branding my own self, that I think if I got signed, I would lose all of that nobility of what I have built up over these years. So yeah, my goals and aspirations have changed in wrestling, as far as I don't care if I'm at that level or not.
Mhm. All right. And one last question before we spin it to Chad, so Tori can close our viewers out with you. Now, as a trainer, as someone who teaches, what is your main goal for those that you teach?
I want to make the best possible wrestlers that I can make. When you walk into my doors, I'll know what kind of potential you have. Most people don't understand this and probably won't believe this. And I keep trying to tell Jeremy this, because he travels with me all the time. The Texas Outlaw, he goes with me everywhere. He's willing to learn. He wants to go. He wants to meet new people. He wants to market himself, and he's always on the road picking my brain. And I wish more people would do that. Not pick my brain, but pick someone's brain. You know, travel with people, pick their brain, see what their thoughts and processes are. I want you to be the best possible wrestler you can be. For instance, I have 2 graduates, Devontae Knox and Theo White. They are a tag team, and they're out there killing it right now. I think they just did like a Booker T. They were down in Houston for Booker T's training school. So it's like, if I see my people becoming successful, then that's fine by me, because it's like, I've gave you the knowledge, the abilities to go out there and do this for yourself. So I feel like even if they do this all on their own, I feel like a part of that is because of me. I've helped them achieve what they want to do.
I love it. I love it all. I wish you the best of luck in your career as you continue it, and the best of luck in training those individuals and teaching them. It's not an easy job, but it's something that you have taken on with what sounds like great responsibility. And I feel like if there was anyone to train them, that you are definitely a great candidate to do so. So I'm excited to see what comes of your career as you stay in it, what comes of your book sales, if you're going to write more. You've got me out on the edge of my seat when it comes to that. But we definitely have an eye on those that are coming up under your wing. Tori, before I let this gentleman get back to that beautiful family of his, go ahead and wrap us up and chat with Mr. O'Reilly.
Absolutely. Let's see, as he was going ahead and was going on, everyone was just, again, as they do, loving what he says, showing their support. Again, you know, facts, Joey loved it. Then they you kind of guys went ahead and answered Samantha's little idea here. Then she came up saying, I remember Joey having short hair. It's weird seeing pictures of him when he's younger than seeing him now. Trying to throw it all off. And then they went on like a whole chat of it. You know, Eric chimed in. He must have looked handsome in his younger years. It ended up changing the entire conversation in chat that they were trying to see and guess how Joey would look when he was younger.
Well, Joey and I have had a short little talk at one of the SMPW, and I already told him that when he had cut his hair the last time, it was a little too short. Did I not, Mr. O'Reilly?
You did, and my younger years, I was not a good looking person. Trust me. It's like reverse roles. It's like the older you get, it's like I was saying something the other day, I can't remember. I was talking to Rain. I was like, do you know who aged really well? And she was like, who? And I was like, Jeff Goldblum. Like, he aged reverse. He is a much more handsome person now than he was when he was younger. Like, it's weird. Like, that's how I want to age. I want to age like that. I want to Benjamin Buttons.
There you go. Fair enough.
He's got a goal set, you know. He's now going to add that to the goal list, you know, that you talked about earlier. He's going to add that in on the in our chat, just saying it was good to see you, Joey O'Reilly, coming from Eric. You know, it's great to have you on. Sounds like they really enjoy listening to you tonight.
Good, I'm glad. Hopefully they learned something.
I'm sure they have, as have we. We've told you several times in person what a joy you are to watch in the ring. You are even more of a joy to have here on our show. So thank you a million times again for taking the time out to be with us and giving us the opportunity to get to know you more, because we absolutely love to watch the journey and we can't wait to see more from you. But we are going to let you get back to your evening, and hopefully we'll get to see you in the ring again soon.
Hopefully. Thank you for having me. Nick Depp, you can kiss my ass, but everybody else, have a good night.
Bye-bye, Joey.
Bye. You had to make sure he got a shot in there, okay? He had to make sure.
Hey, you know what? I would have been extremely disheartened had he not, because you know, Veronica, you can slap the PG rating on me right up on this big booty of mine as much as you want, but there's always payback. And in fact, that payback is coming tomorrow night, because we are going to be joined by Jackson Pride, and we have already warned you. She can only give me 1 PG a week. She has met her limit. It is over.
Yep.
Join us back here. It's the same time, right? We're not doing anything later. It's still 9 o'clock. I know sometimes we fluctuate.
It's going to be 9 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, there you go. So same time, same place, tomorrow night, different rating. Join my beautiful daughter, Tori, and I, as we meet with none other than Jackson Pride. Plus, we are going live again on Friday, because that's what we do. We torment you all with Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of us. And that too will be MA, as we are joined by one of our fellow podcasters who I love getting to be on his show, Book Beyond Reality. I know you've seen me talk about it, and you're going to see me talk about it some more on Friday, so stay tuned. This was just the start of our live stream, and her PG BS is over. I've made it. It's done. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I still hate wrestling this week, but I love you all, and that's what counts. Tori, do you have anything to say before we kiss them goodbye?
What was like that? That's what matters right there. That is exactly what matters. Chat is just dropping the Eric, you ladies are badass. I would not want to miss the next live stream. You're right, Eric. You don't. Samantha, bye, mama. Bye, sis. Love you guys. Same with Eric. Bye, mama. Bye, little sis. Love y'all. Good night from Doug. Everyone saying their good nights. Good night to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. You guys heard Veronica. You know where to find us. And then stay tuned, because you guys are going to hear what is happening with the Sloanes in April.
A lot. We've already started booking our new dates. We have a lot of great guests coming up. So just stick around. We'll tell you about it as soon as we can, because Tori will do what?
We'll see
you soon.